Hello and welcome to my weekly video blog, and today I'm going to talk about some more strange symptoms of the perimenopause and menopause. If you like my tips and advice, then please subscribe and remember to hit the bell icon so you can be notified of all my new videos. So during the perimenopause and menopause, most of you will experience some of the common symptoms of the menopause. But sometimes you get these really strange, unusual, lesser known symptoms. And sometimes I get all these messages, is this part of the menopause? What's going on? Why am I feeling this? Because I've not heard of this, I've not read about it before. So what I'm going to do today is talk about 3 more symptoms that have come up quite recently. So number 1 is actually being called the menopause flu. So it's almost as if you're getting flu-like symptoms, maybe fever, chills, shivers, aches and fatigue. And very often you don't get the other symptoms. So you know yourself, it's not a bad cold because you're not getting the runny nose or the mucus or the coughs or anything. But you know that something's going on. So this is very often just almost like a continuation of fatigue. So if you're getting all these symptoms together, basically your body's just saying, I've had enough, I need a rest, please stop. So just be aware of this one. If it's happening really regularly, and very often it's just a one-off, maybe you've been really busy, maybe you've had a lot of work to do, there's a lot of things going on, either emotionally or physically, and then you end up feeling this kind of run down and kind of flu-y like. But if you feel that this kind of fatigue and the fever and the chills and the shivering is going on, if it's not abating, then very often symptoms like this can indicate an underactive thyroid. And we know that falling estrogen in the perimenopause and menopause can affect thyroid function. So this is one of the situations, if it continues, please just get this checked by your doctor to rule it out. The other thing that can happen is that falling estrogen can affect our immune system. And again, a lot of it is just due to the fact that all these physical changes are going on and our body's finding it a bit of a struggle to stay on top of things. So you may find that you are actually coming down with real colds and flu and coughs and things. You know, you're catching everything that's going around at any given time. That in itself can really wear you out as well. So in that situation, you can look at the herb echinacea, as this is known to help support immune function. And we have our licensed echinoforce tincture and tablets for the relief and symptoms of colds and flu. Number 2 is stabbing pains. Now this is not so much the tingling, but you just suddenly get a stabbing pain, a shooting pain. Maybe the pains just come and go anywhere on the body, and you never know when they're going to appear. So the main area are the breasts, the chest area, the legs and the stomach. So I'll look at these on an individual basis because they can be really quite different. So we know generally that falling estrogen can affect nerve function. We know too that nutritional needs go sky high. You need plenty of B vitamins and magnesium to support the nerves themselves. So if your nutrition is a bit low, it could be just a really simple case of you're needing a bit more magnesium and a vitamin B complex. But what can happen too is that falling estrogen increases our pain perception. So we feel pain more than what we did before. So you may have had a few, aches and pains generally before hormones shifted, and suddenly you're getting a lot of joint aches and pains. So that's just because your pain perception has changed, not that anything has got particularly worse. Other thing that can happen too is that our connective tissue can decrease or it's not repaired. Now, connective tissue it's almost like a kind of glue that it holds our skeleton together. But the connective tissue is flexible and it helps us move all our different joints. So if that connective tissue decreases, that will affect your joint movement and joint range, and that in itself can end up causing stabbing pains to the joints. And this is where basically things like the knees and the hips come in. So just be aware of that one. For the chest pain, there's something called costochondritis. So this is the tissue that's connecting the ribs together. So if that gets inflamed, then anything you do where you're reaching up, turning round, moving back or forward, that's going to cause a stabbing pain. So if the stabbing pain is connected to any type of movement, especially in this area, really important to get this checked out by your doctor, just to make sure that it's not anything to do with your heart rather than the ribs. The other area where you can get these stabbing pains are the breasts. Again, it can just be due to estrogen, lower estrogen affecting the estrogen receptor sites. It can be more cyclical. So if you're in the perimenopause, you may find that you just get the stabbing pains before a period is due. Some people find that a Kelp supplement can help. We're not quite sure why. It's just one of these things that sometimes it can reduce the discomfort. It can be dehydration, something as simple as that. So remember to keep your water intake up. But any breast changes, any breast pain, this needs to be checked by your doctor as well. So don't put up with this one for months and months. Just get this one checked out. If it's stomach area, so if it's here, if you're getting stabbing pains, it can be a number of things. It can be a prolapse. It could be due to the fact that the womb is changing. For some women, womb tissue can shrink in the perimenopause and menopause. For other women, it can actually get thicker. So again, if the stabbing pains are coming with your cycle, whenever that comes, just get this checked out by your doctor. If you're getting stabbing pains, especially when you sit down or you bend down, it could indicate a prolapse. Again, get this checked out by your doctor. This one's really important because there's all sorts of other issues. It can be things like polycystic ovaries. It can also be fibroids as well. So especially if you're getting heavy bleeding at lots of different times and the stabbing pain, please get this checked by your doctor. Number 3 is you're dropping things, you're bumping into them. So this can happen. Your spatial awareness can change. So you see gaps between things differently. I mean, I know for me it was I could never park my car straight. Just no matter what I did, it always ended up at an angle. It could be you're bumping into doors. It could be you go to pick something up and completely miss it. So there's all these different things can go on. It can be balance. You might find that your balance is getting a bit strange. That's often accompanied by tinnitus. It's so ringing in the ears and balance. If you're getting a lot of balance issues and ear pain, maybe just get that checked out from the doctor that it's not something called Meniere's disease. It could be the shakes. Now, if you're starting to physically shake, again, get this one checked out by your doctor. We do know that things like Parkinson's can develop later on. Not that we know that it's linked to any hormonal changes, but just obviously get that one checked out. Low estrogen can also affect our grip, the strength of our grip. But I know for me, as time went on, you know, trying to open jars is just an absolute nightmare. So I've got one of those kind of contraption things that you fix on and then you can screw it off quite easily. So with the finger strength, and again, if you're losing finger strength, then you're more prone to dropping things because you just can't grip them tightly enough. The other thing you can get is one that's like a squashy ball, and you just practice, exercising your fingers on a daily basis. If you find that it's your wrists that are affected, then things like yoga can be really effective for that as well. Just the sort of positions that they do can help to strengthen your wrists. Other thing to do is get your eyes checked out. And we know again that falling estrogen can affect eyesight, it can affect eye pressure. So it may be, the fact you're bumping into things may be more to do with your eyesight. So regular checkups with your optician, and remind them or just tell them that you're going through the perimenopause or menopause, and then they can take this into account when you're getting your eyes checked. I hope you found this one helpful. We talk about strange symptoms, but I know whenever I post one of these that so many of you reply saying that you've experienced this and maybe didn't associate it with the menopause. So if any of you have any other strange symptoms that you've experienced, please mention them. And if I've not talked about them before, then I'll try and put them into one of my future vlogs. Remember, I always love to hear your stories and your comments, so please keep those coming in. I'll see you later and have a lovely week.